Space Group have worked with a number of clients on similar projects, but this one does take it to another level.
It's definitely been one of the most innovative projects that I've been involved with.
Both personally and professionally, it's been a big learning curve and an eye-opener, I think, to discover how everyone should be working.
The level of complexity and sophistication that this project has is a first for Space Group.
I don't know of any other projects that bring all suppliers from all corners of my industry into this way. I think it's great that we've got 40 manufacturers, 20 designers and 1 architect that have been brought together for this project.
When you bring together all of the supply chain, the designers and our team, that adds up to over 500 years of experience has gone into every single house design.
Never been involved with a project before where we've worked directly with other manufacturers to produce one whole house.
I think it is fair to say that the industry is quite traditional, and it does have to adapt with the modern world. We do need to embrace change and modernise the way that we work, definitely, right the way through the process from start to finish, whether that's an architect, an engineer, a manufacturer in our case.
For house building, it's definitely an industry that should be utilising technology more readily. It's clear during the process that I've been working on this that it can be done, and it can be done to a really high standard.
Typically the construction industry will say we've always done it that way and hasn't been keen to change. However, with the Whole House project, we started with a blank piece of paper and we always said why to every decision that we made. By challenging ourselves right across the design process, we've been able to bring innovation across all parts of the design itself.
Travis Perkins' Whole House project is set up to deal with design issues very well, and in my opinion that's because it's following a BIM way of working. So BIM stands for Building Information Modelling, and essentially it's where every component of that building is modelled in 3D, which is what we have here with this project.
Being able to review designs in 3D beforehand will just eliminate any issues that we have on site because we've already tackled those issues. I think that'll be a massive benefit. It'll be cost and time saving. So up until now there's been nothing as effective as this to eliminate site issues.
With the Whole House project, there's a huge amount of effort goes into the design stage before it gets anywhere near site. So we've done all of the thinking and the coordination before it's needed further down the process. Space Group have been involved with innovative projects and digital workflows for many years. This project is a great example of bringing all of that together into a single environment. Some might think that Whole House is a standardised product, but we think it's the actual opposite. Whole House gives you the opportunity to select a very wide range of options, but the confidence that it's all pulled together in a very comprehensive and high quality way.
There's a huge range of options that the customer can choose from, knowing that they're fully compatible with each other. And that's because of all of the work that the manufacturers have done behind the scenes that the customer doesn't need to worry about.
Often in the architectural profession, standardisation is seen as a negative, but we believe it is a real positive to reducing carbon, improving the quality of products. And what the Whole House project does really well is bring all of those components together and demonstrate how that quality can be delivered and how we can reduce waste. At the beginning of the project, Travis Perkins set a principle of think, feel and do. The think element of the philosophy has been really helpful to make us challenge everything that we do.
The feel is to do with the confidence that the user can get from the experience and the knowledge that's gone into the behind-the-scenes design process.
The do is based on people like ourselves and experts doing what we do best, and that means that builders and developers can do what they do best and build the houses.
The ultimate benefit of Whole House is that we've done all of the hard work, so you as a house builder don't have to.
I would say how this benefits the home builder is more than likely simplifying the whole process. It reduces the risk involved for them because they have all of the work is being done up front, and it is literally just a case of choosing their options and going from there.
One of the dangers that the customer faces between manufacturers like ourselves and designing systems and then the procurement of the parts actually finally on site is that there can be a watering down of the specification.
What Whole House does is give the opportunity not only to pick the exact specification you want, but also has dynamic pricing so you can see the impact of the choices you're making, but also gives you a 3D visualization to actually see what that selection will look like.
So the customer can choose any spec that they like with the confidence of knowing that that is within building regulations. So as a team, we've considered the knock-on effect of all of our design preferences. For example, pipework under the floors, we've brought in waste designers, ventilation designers, joist designers to then collaborate within that one design.
We've addressed the material and labour cost by dealing with Staircraft directly. They're the company that link most closely with ourselves as a drainage manufacturer. So through conversations with them and Travis Perkins, we've managed to reroute pipework to get the most cost-effective solution that works for everyone.
So normally, any plumbing pipes, they would be drilled on site. We already have those built into the floor. The space in between pipes is already set, so we're removing the risk of the plumber drilling incorrectly, which then would result in costly remedials, time spent on site with the labour to fix that problem. We've overcome that, so you won't see that problem on site. We've already got the holes pre-drilled, ready for the pipes to go into. So this is just one of the ways that we drive down the material cost and the labour cost with Whole House.
One of the big benefits from Whole House is the accuracy that you get for materials, so forecasting of materials. Every component of that house is already predetermined, so supply chain issues become easier. So for example, if the plumber calls up and asks for 20 more bends, the client can have confidence that they have deviated from the design and can question why they need them. That can have knock-on effects to every other trade that's in there, and ultimately tells you that they have gone against what has been put in place. From a manufacturer's point of view, Whole House gives us great confidence that spec will be withheld. Traditionally, breaking spec is very common within the industry, and from our point of view is something that we don't want to happen.
What's really nice about Whole House is there's been additional thought given to how much material is needed for each individual option. So for example, we know exactly how much skirting board is needed or how much pipework. So often in the construction industry, there is huge amounts of waste in that there's over-ordering in relation to skirting board or pipework. Because we've considered that during design, we can minimise waste on site. Everything in Whole House has been designed to interrelate and work together so that we're sure that we'll get the level of quality, but also we'll get the compliance that's needed for the project itself.
So in regards to regulations, we've been looking at Part F and Part O. Both of those regulations work in conjunction with each other. Over the last year, there's been a lot of discussion about Part O. It's a complicated document and we have to consider it in relation to Part F. What our guys have done is have to spend a lot of time looking at how that affects Whole House, looking at the ventilation systems that we're proposing and making sure that compliance comes first.
Legislation changes add a lot of pressure to the regional house builder. What we've done is remove that headache by addressing it in the design phase.
I can't think of a time when there's been more change in legislation in the housing sector. The government is putting lots of new standards in place. For any house builder, this is a challenge, but particularly for regional house builders, having to keep up to date with all of these changes has to be a challenge. The beauty of Whole House is that we, as an architectural team, are continually reviewing those standards and making sure that those compliance issues are picked up in the final design.
I think the ways that Whole House is designed to give confidence is the fact that so many people have been brought together with specific expertise, all specialists in their own field, and then when you put that together, the risk is reduced, so the end user can have full confidence that what they are looking at has been well thought out from day one. Whole House has given us a better insight into how our products interact with other products within the scheme. Using Staircraft as an example, I've learnt various different things of what can and can't be done with joists. It's not just a straightforward process of cutting bits out here to fit our pipework. We need to work in harmony with each other. So from that point of view, I think it's been an eye-opener.
This project has helped highlight a few things for EnviroVent. A couple of those is the technology that we use, that having something unique that integrates together has a great benefit to each other. Often historically, manufacturers will sort of be working against each other, but in a unique situation like this, we've really come together and it's really highlighted the benefits of shared technology and having a shared platform from which we can all work in.
So this project's inspired me to review the way that I work moving forward by just thinking ahead of how other people would design things and incorporating different aspects into my design.
I believe that Whole House is a way forward for the industry, especially with having someone as big as Travis Perkins on board and the reach that they will have. It will bring a new audience to this way of working within the industry.
It's been a fantastic project to work on, great for everyone to come together, but most importantly, the end product will make a huge difference to the industry and something that hasn't ever been done before.